Greetings and salutations. I'm Becca,
And I'm Cass.
and welcome to Act 4. Now, what if I told you that the Land of Oz isn't exactly what we remember? That there's more to the story than witches and wizards, flying monkeys, and yellow brick roads. Because tonight we're diving broomstick first into Wicked, a spellbind tale of friendship, power, and the real meaning of being good. So let's get into it.
Let's go.
In this initial section, we'll begin by summarizing the movie and then provide our thoughts on it. So, Wicked is a reimagining of the classic Wizard of Oz story that is focused on the untold tale of the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba, and her unlikely friendship with Glinda, the Good Witch. It is set in the magical land of Oz, and it explores the theme of identity, friendship, and standing up for what you believe in. So the movie is starring Ariana Grande as Glinda and Cynthia Erivo as Elphaba. And the film brings these iconic characters to life with unforgettable performances. Let's just say it that way. So Cass, what are
Yes.
your initial thoughts on the movie?
Well, for a movie that was, recycled, it was actually very, very good.
Yeah.
I was actually very surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, props to them. Yeah,
Wait, you were expecting it to be bad?
not bad, but not great.
Yeah. So
Like
it exceeded your expectations. Yeah,
exactly,
yeah, I get.
exactly.
I get you. I have to say I do agree because I think the performances were a lot better than I expected. And I don't want to
Yes.
be judgmental. I think it's because I know Ariana Grande as like the pop star and I've known her in Victorious,
Yeah.
but I wasn't expecting her to be like that great in Wicked, and she
Mhm.
was amazing. And Cynthia Erivo, I think I've heard of it from Harriet, the movie. Harriet? No, I think it
I've
was
no
Harriet.
idea. I've
So
never
when
seen
I'm
her.
gonna stand up, take my people with me.
With me.
Yeah, exactly. I know she sings that song, I think. I believe. So I knew her from that whole era, but I didn't like know her acting that
Yeah,
much,
me
and I got
neither.
introduced to her, so I think it was really great.
Yes.
And same as like Ethan Slater, because I've heard of
Oh,
like the
yeah.
whole thing with Ariana Grande, but
Hmm.
like I didn't know him as a
Me
performer,
neither.
and he was great. And Jonathan Bailey as well was great. I've known
Yes.
him in Bridgerton, and yeah, I mean, and the visuals as well, I think
Exactly.
were great. It was more than what I thought it was gonna be.
Yes. I think for me, that's what made it very good. Like how it looked. Because we saw it in IMAX, if I
Mm-hmm.
remember, and it was so beautiful. Like
Mm-hmm.
the colors, the aesthetic, like you really can tell that they put a lot of thought into like the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's just me, but like it looked very good.
No, it did. And like
Yes.
I don't know why in my head I like forgot that Alphaba was green.
Oh,
So I
oh,
it's because I wasn't a big musical fan when I was a
uh,
kid. So like I've heard of like the whole Wizard of Oz thing, but I
mm-hmm,
never like really truly paid attention to it. So like
mm-hmm.
in my head I wasn't expecting Alphaba to be green throughout the movie. But then I think it's faithful to the real story and
Yeah.
I appreciated it.
But what you thought like she was, because she's,
Honestly, I was uncultured. I thought she became green
because,
somehow.
okay, I see.
Like I did not know
Yeah,
much.
okay,
I did more research after seeing the movie,
okay.
but like when I went into it, I didn't know. I wasn't a musical kid, so like
Yeah,
I didn't know anything about Wicked, except the fact that was popular and that
yeah.
we should
Oh,
watch it for
no
YouTube.
pun intended.
Oh yeah,
Anyways,
that, that's true. But yeah, what I mean is that like I didn't know that she was green from
yeah,
the get
okay.
go. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
So it was interesting to see that they were faithful to that aspect and that
Mm-hmm.
it didn't look as bad as I expected it because
Yeah,
it looked quite natural.
exactly.
The green looked natural.
Yes, they did. I don't know if it's like it probably was like actually was actually painted green,
Yeah.
considering it, like how beautiful everything looked.
Hmm.
But they did a really, like, it looked like it was actually her skin,
It did look
like
like
not
her skin.
makeup or like someone painted
I
green.
thought it was gonna look like makeup, like, oh
Yeah,
yeah, I woke up and put some green paint
yeah,
on myself.
really good.
Yeah, it was really good. I like the music as well. I
Mm-hmm.
was looking at some reviews, and like people were saying that the music was too much. Oh my god, too much singing. But like, dude, it's a musical.
Like, it makes no sense to me when people say that. Like, later, if you look it up, it says one, like, the genre is musical.
Yeah,
Expect
musical
singing. Like,
music.
it never made sense to me.
Yeah, same. So yeah, I really like the music, and one that I really knew before watching was Defying Gravity.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought
What
it
did
was
you
I thought
expect?
it was popular.
No,
That's the one that I knew. Like, you will be popular. Like,
no. The one
no.
I knew was
Oh,
Defying Gravity, and I really liked
interesting.
it. It's funny that
Yeah.
we didn't
Yeah.
say the same thing, but yeah. So I like the music and I like the singing, and I heard that the actors actually were singing live
Oh.
while like shooting. They were actually singing the songs for real. So like the voices we heard were like the raw voices on set.
Eh,
You don't think so?
no, I don't think. I think it was, they probably were singing on set, but because I feel like if you sing on a set in a movie, like, it wouldn't
Yeah,
sound. It's probably maybe pre-recorded mixed with like
the real
the
singing.
real singing.
But it's probably they worked on the song for sure. Like it's not
Yeah.
the raw
Yeah, yeah,
version,
yeah,
but
of course.
it would be nice if they did add some of the real singing, like
Yeah,
live singing into it.
that's really cool.
And what did you think about the whole CGI thing? Did you think it was too much or it was okay?
Look, okay, look. I feel like, to me, CGI, it's either hit or miss,
Yeah,
always for me.
yeah.
And it didn't look off at all.
Mm-hmm,
It
mm-hmm.
looked pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. You could tell some aspects were CGI, but I have to agree, it wasn't as like bad as expected.
Hmm.
Except like I think there's like one scene where Alphaba like lips into
Uh,
like another. I think she's like on one side and she like
hmm.
lips to the other side. Then I was like, oh yeah, that's clearly it.
Yeah.
But I think that's the movie. She's a witch, so of course, and she has her broomstick, so
Yes.
of course, like flying won't be like fully there. And yeah, the only issue I had, but I think it's because it didn't have a lot of time, was like
Hmm.
the fact that some supporting characters were like not as
Yeah.
developed.
I
So
Actually, for me, the supporting characters, they were fine. Like, they had their lines, and I could like get their personalities a little.
yeah,
It's true that um they didn't have much,
yeah, I
except
think
for
they didn't
like,
have much.
I forgot the name of I forgot his name. But like, yeah. Actually, one thing about the movie, the fact that, like, they didn't have much time, that's one thing that think was like kind of an ick. I feel
Mm,
like it was a little lazy,
mm-hmm.
because at the literally the beginning is like, oh yeah, the Wicked Witch, she's dead. And then you end the movie and you don't know how she died, or
That's
like
true. That's
if
true.
she's actually dead.
Or
Like,
she's just faking it.
exactly. I feel like they didn't need to include that part if they were planning on doing a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Cuz it's like, I'm like, okay, I have to wait a year to figure out this one little thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I agree.
That's a little thing.
I the thing is, I think it like wraps up around pacing issues. I
Yeah.
think it had some pacing issues, but at the end, I saw that. Well, at the end, like a few weeks ago, I saw that like they had some like deleted scenes, like a
Oh,
lot of deleted scenes.
okay.
So I think those deleted scenes might be why we don't have a lot of
Mhm.
context sometimes. But I do agree that like the first scene wasn't needed,
Yeah.
really wasn't needed. Like for example, they could have put it in the second movie and then we'd be
Yes.
like, oh, what happened to Alphaba,
Exactly.
Okay, so that were our opinions like on the movie generally. So what do you guys think? Did you like the movie? Did you hate it? Did you find something interesting that we did not mention? If you did, just leave a comment down below or even join our new Discord server to chat with us. We'll be happy to hear from you. And with that being said, let's move on to the second segment of this episode.
You're
So, in this second segment, we will read reviews from platforms like Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, Letterboxd, and more, and just share with you guys our findings that we thought were funny, interesting, good, bad. Whatever.
Yes.
Okay, so for Wicked on Rotten Tomato, it has an 88% tomato meter and a 95% popcorn meter, which is the new
Ooh,
audience score.
that's cool. Good for
Yeah,
them.
it is quite good. So, Kes, what is your first review?
All right. So the first one that I have says, "Damn," and I was making fun of the commercials. And honestly, I think that's why I didn't have much expectations for the
Yeah.
movie because of like all the memes and like how people were like kind of making fun of like the interviews and stuff. I was like,
Mhm.
okay, this is gonna be a little, yeah.
Yeah.
But honestly, they really shut me up. Like they really said, okay, yeah, you think this is gonna be bad? Watch this, and then they delivered.
Yeah, they shut their haters down. And
Exactly.
it's funny because I think before watching the movie, I was seeing like the press conferences and
Yeah.
people were like joking about like how Ariana and Cynthia were really into the characters and like
Yeah.
they were overly emotional. So like they were making memes out of it. So I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
Exactly.
maybe the movie's gonna be kind
Yeah.
of a meme.
Exactly.
But actually,
Yep.
it was not at all.
Exactly.
Okay, so my first review comes from V Forums. Wicked is an absolutely fabulous way to finish off 2024 or start 2025.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I liked the way that they talked about Maleficent and Mean Girls because, in a
Yeah.
way, I do see it.
Yes. Me too.
Because
Yeah.
Maleficent is like the dark presence, which in the movie they try to show us that it's Alphaba.
Isn't the original Maleficent also like green?
I'm not sure.
Or am I mistaking here?
Maybe, I don't know. So, what is your second review?
Oh, oh. All right. So my second review says my second review says they gave her a what's up danger moment. And have you seen like, well, we have seen it, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Like the scene where he like leaps off like the building.
Mm-hmm.
That's the like what's up danger moment. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel honestly I can like when she got the broomstick
Mm-hmm.
and she started flying everywhere, like I
Mm-hmm.
was like, oh, she unleashed her entire power.
She did.
She
Yeah.
became the person she wanted and thinks she is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I love it.
I completely agree.
Yes.
Okay, so my second review is gonna be my last, but it's a bit long, so that counts
Buckle
as
up.
three. Okay, this one is from Reddit. And the person says the one-star reviews for the movie are hilarious. The fact that they thought this was a Disney film, were shocked that a musical had musical numbers, and that their grammar is horrendous tells me that the real wickedness here is people reviewing movies without knowing what they're walking into.
Hmm.
Did they think Helphaba was the green cousin of Elsa? And I think that's funny because actually the person posted a thread on Reddit
Hmm.
and it was like of people who were criticizing the movie because, oh yeah, it's a musical but it has too much music. Oh, but it's a Disney movie, so why is it like this? But like, didn't you do your research before going to see the movie? Like, what's going on with you? And I just thought it was funny because
I mean,
uncultured people. I have to say I was uncultured before going to
hmm,
see the movie, but like, there's a level of
yes.
unculturedness, you know.
I don't think it's uncultured. It's just people like to hate just for the sake of hating. Like me, I literally when I walked into the movie theater, I did not expect something great.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't. And I
Mm-hmm.
can admit that, it
You
was
didn't,
great.
yeah.
Like it was great. Like
Yeah,
I'm not going to hate on it just cuz I didn't like I mean, I didn't know about it at first.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't at all. Okay, well, guys, that was it for our reviews today. If you saw something, you read something, you wrote something, and you want to share it with us, you can always leave it down below or just write to us on our Discord, and we will be happy to discuss it with you. And with that being said, let's move on to the third segment of this episode.
All right, so the third segment is all about the characters and the characters that we think did great and probably deserve an Oscar. It doesn't necessarily have to be to like the actor, it just can be because the character was amazing and also the character that we think we would do a good job at portraying in the movie.
Mhm.
So, Rebecca,
Yes.
which character deserves an Oscar?
You might be
Oh,
surprised. Or
Lord.
maybe not, actually. Maybe I'm just a bit basic.
Oh,
But my favorite character and the one that I think deserves an Oscar is, of course, Alphaba.
yes, the GOAT. Oh,
Yes.
the witch. Anyways,
Yes. I don't know if it's basic, but I think she does. Like her principles, the
mm-hmm.
fact that like she didn't back down even if
Yes,
everyone was against her. She decided to stand on her own. And
yes,
I don't know, I just think like as a character, she's just amazing
I
and
agree.
she deserves an Oscar. And as of the character I'd play,
Ooh, I'm scared.
do you think you can guess?
No, I don't. Well, is it Glinda?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah. It's just because I know for a fact that if I was in their world,
Mm-hmm.
I would be Glinda
Honestly,
more than Alphaba.
yeah, I can see you as Glinda.
In the sense that like I would stand with like I would like the principles of it all, but
Mm-hmm.
like Becca can be a coward sometimes
Oh
and I don't want to
no.
die.
Oh,
No, that's the thing.
yeah.
I don't mind standing on the ground of what I believe in,
Yes.
but if you kill me for them, then I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
May switch lanes.
I don't know. So like I'll tell you that I don't like it and I'll discuss it with you and everything. But like when you try to put me in prison and you try to kill me,
Yeah.
that's another story completely. And but as a character, I prefer Alphaba
Yeah.
because I think it's way nobler to like stand on your ground and like go against everyone. But I think I would prefer to be like a cheery character that like I think she's still nice, Glinda. I think she still
Yes,
likes
she
Alphaba.
is.
I think she's still a great person. It's just that she views things differently, you know.
Yeah.
And you can see it at like in the last scene,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when like Alphaba was like telling that like she was resisting, she wasn't gonna
Yes.
play, and Glinda was like, girl, just do it. And I
Mm-hmm.
think it's because there's two ways to do things. There's like a way where you like go act up front, and there's a way you just work like backstage.
Yeah.
And working backstage doesn't mean you won't help the cause, it just means you're gonna help the cause differently.
I agree.
And I think Glinda is like probably clueless a bit, but like I think she's smart in that way because you can change a lot by just agreeing in front of them and then quietly working
Mm-hmm.
towards your principles and not dying. You know
Mm-hmm. I
what I
mean,
mean?
at the same time, we don't know yet,
Yeah, we don't
like,
know.
what she does.
Yeah, we don't know yet. But I'm just saying, like, as of the first movie, I would have been Glinda, I think.
I I can see it.
What about you?
All right. So, unfortunately, although I think the characters were great, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying that they sucked or anything. It's just
Mm-hmm.
none of them really stood out to me.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that I would give an Oscar to is probably Dr. Dillamond, the goat.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know, I think he would have been a great character, and I just think it's funny.
The goat.
It's funny to say things like, "Oh, hashtag animal lives matter." You know,
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. I think it was a cool character, cool
Mm-hmm.
design, cool concept.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to play a character, there wouldn't be one that in particular again that I feel like
Mm-hmm.
in that universe I would be able to portray,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately. But I would like to be a main character. So either Alphaba or Glenda. Thank you.
If I'm Glinda, you can be my Alphaba.
Let's
That works.
go.
Okay. Well, that was it for our characters today. And what about you? What is your favorite character and who would you give an Oscar to? Why, where, when? Just let us know in the comment section. And with that being said, we'll move on to the last segment of this episode.
The last segment is basically all about the lines and the scenes that stood out to us. Scenes and lines that we think should be in the history books.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and it can be for whatever reason we think is valid.
Mm-hmm.
So, I will start.
Yes.
The first one is when Glinda is singing the song Popular, and then Alphaba is like, um wait, Alphaba says, wait, no, Glinda says, and they were, and Alphaba responds with Popular, and Glinda says, right. I've seen it on TikTok. I just think it's very, like, the delivery is amazing. Good job,
Mhm.
Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
And my favorite scene is definitely, well, when she has her, like, the review said her "What's Up Danger" moment,
Mm-hmm.
when she like the broomsticks comes to life, let's say,
Mm-hmm.
and then she just grabs it and then she starts singing, and I thought that was the most magical thing I had ever seen in like a couple months in cinema, because yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I agree.
Okay.
Actually, one of the things you mentioned is something that I wrote too.
Oh
The popular
yeah.
song movie. I think it was like just iconic the way Ariana
Yes.
Grande said it, and I really liked it. So yeah, I really noted the popular as a scene. And as well, I think because I knew the song before, for me, the defying gravity
Yeah.
moment is like Alphaba's moment of liberation. So I really like
Yes.
that scene as well. I think it was great. And one line that I wrote was, "Are people born wicked or do they have wickedness thrust upon them?" And that is basically the foundation of the movie. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought I could not mention that. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm mentioning it. And I think it's a good topic of discussion because are people really born wicked or is like society conditioning people to become wicked? Let
That
us
is the
know in the
com
comment section what you think.
yes.
Well, I think that was it for episode today. If you want to add anything to the discussion from today's episode, just leave a comment down below. You can also join our Discord, like I mentioned earlier. We have discussions on there on several topics, so you will probably find something that interests you in there. And on top of that, stay tuned for our next episode and see you at the movies. No, oh, I forgot Cass, my bad. And
It's
Cass,
okay.
okay, go ahead.
Basically, it's a very easy question. If you could change your skin color to whatever color you would want, and like, which color would that be? See
See
you
you
at
at
the
the
movies.
movies.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.